What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the FIlmBros podcast. What's going on, guys? We're going to go ahead and jump right into the stories. One story in particular that we're not going to be discussing all the way today. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. We will be discussing it on the next episode, full length. There's a lot to this story that I honestly don't want to put into pieces, into different ones. We're just going to go ahead and talk about it on the next episode.
Wait, but before we get into the news, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by ZippyStream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at FIlmBros Podcast, we absolutely love using ZippyStream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. ZippyStream will help you find and manage your relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at ZippyStream right away. Now back to the pod. Victoria Alonso, I'll give you guys a little tidbit on it. She is a VFX producer, worked with Fahy for many years since Iron Man 1, seemingly getting shit canned out of the blue. You know, there's a lot of speculation coming out. There's some saying that HR was involved. There's some saying that, she was blindsided. Some people are saying that she knew. It's a lot of information. So we're going to go ahead and discuss that on the next episode. So make sure you guys are staying tuned, because we're going to do a full coverage. I'm going to do my due diligence, look through everything before I present you guys with the facts, and, we'll go ahead and do that. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump over to the next Disney project, which is going to be a Snow White remake. We already are getting a remake with The Little Mermaid coming up. Rachel Zeggler is, and I know you don't know who that is, but she is already going to be starring in it, as well as Gal Gadot. She will also be in this movie. This was reported all the way since last year, September last year. The reason why I'm bringing it up today is because we saw Shazam! Fury of the Gods. We saw, Gal Gadot and, Rachel Zeggler in the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how familiar you are with Snow White, but seeing them at least on screen together, I mean, partially on screen, we knew that there was a stunt double. Do you think that this movie is gonna go good? Hearing what's going on, adding into account what's going on with The Little Mermaid as of right now too.
Well, I think the live action remakes themselves don't do too well. You know what I mean? I think as a whole, let's bring them to life and stuff, it's not going too good for Disney. I don't know the track record, because I don't even think the Beauty and the Beast did too good. You know what I mean? I think Lion King did good, and then I don't remember too much, or we have to wait for Little Mermaid to come out to see. But this whole rebooting and remaking into live action stuff, I don't think it's working out too well. And then with people, and their bias about race swapping characters and stuff, it kind of just turns people into a rage for some reason too. So,
I think that the problem is with these live action remakes are the fact that they're not sticking to the source, right? When you want to see a remake or a live action remake, you want to see, I don't want to say necessarily a copy and paste of, what you've seen as a kid, but you do want to see a lot more of that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You do want to see, if they're going to play on the nostalgia factor, you got to be able to, give the fans what they loved about the first one, but also, playing it up and doing something different. So, like with Beauty and the Beast, people loved Beauty and the Beast, but the problem was too much singing. They added more songs. There was a lot. They made Gaston gay, or his little sidekick gay. which I don't see what the big deal was about that. I don't think they actually like did anything with it. It's not like he was
I
like,
can't remember it well enough.
yeah, I don't remember it well enough either because I don't like musicals. I do remember watching it, and I do remember it was pretty much close to what we expected. It was just a couple things that they changed. Same thing with The Lion King. People were excited about it, but they didn't like how realistic the animals were. They wanted more of a, cartoony, more human feel where you can see emotion, stuff like that, like how you could in The Lion King.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. Now they're saying a lot that it's a whole like racial swap, making them from white to black.
Basically. But
But it's not just that too. I know like they're changing how the original actor was. Same thing with Aladdin, with Will Smith. They changed Robin Williams, which in my opinion he was the heart of the Aladdin movie, right?
Yeah.
And they just painted Will Smith blue. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. It's just there's so much that they changed that it just feels like you're not getting the same thing. And like I said, with the Little Mermaid, that's the most recent one. You've seen Flounder, how he looks. That looks monstrosity.
Oh my God.
The crab looks kind of weird. Now, and a lot of people are saying about the whole racial swap. I don't think that's the issue. I don't think that it's not that we don't want to see a black mermaid or anything like that. It's just, I think that they would want to see that red-haired, white girl that we grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, you could say what you want, whatever. I understand it sounds bad, but at the end of the day, that's what we grew up with. You know what I mean? That's the one that I saw as a child and was like, that'd be cool if they could remake it and make it look good and stuff like that. Ursula as well. Like, we seen a little glimpse of her, but she doesn't look like the Ursula that was in the cartoon. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe because they're trying to play on the nostalgia factor without giving us the accuracy to get that nostalgia.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's just. Well, I don't know, because I mean, there's people, like us adults already, like we want to go see it because, we know what it is. We've been kind of holding out for a live action, but the kids, of the generation that this movie is for, they're not gonna see all that. You know what I mean? They're gonna see a Black Little Mermaid and be like, "That's nice."
That's my Little Mermaid. Yeah.
So like, I think it's just about separating it. You know what I mean? Like us, yeah, we're adults. We can understand that. Yep, they're gonna remake it. It is what it is. It's not gonna be the redhead we know. But like I said, little kids are gonna be like, "This is the shit," And like, it's just for adults that could spend the money and stuff. It's not working out. Like, I'm gonna go see the Little Mermaid, but I don't have kids of my own to take. So like,
yeah,
like, it's just a lot of separating it like that. And I think people who are really upset about race swapping and stuff are just adults that can spend the money to go see it too. But they're trying to grab onto that nostalgia factor too.
So wouldn't you think it'd be smarter to maybe? Well, in my opinion, I think it would be smarter to be to give us the Little Mermaid, right? Use the what we had from before, just basically remake it and then do a whole another Little Mermaid movie, maybe call it a spin-off, call it something else that has, that Black Mermaid that has to go through her own struggles, her own trials, and not put a completely different person that you're not used to seeing because you didn't grow up with that. And I'm just saying, maybe for like the younger audiences, it doesn't matter. Like you said, they're not going to see the old ones anyways, unless the adults showed it to them. Mm-hmm. But for the parents that are going to take them, or for the older cats that are going to go watch it, it's going to be very like, this ain't the movie that, that I know, that I grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, I don't know, to introduce the politics of it all to a child that just wants to go see the Little Mermaid, it's going to be tough, Like, why can't you just take your kid or whatever, be like, oh, well, if you want to see
My Little Mermaid used to be white. No, just
we're just saying that to like a child. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like you could just be like, well, like we had a Little Mermaid too, but she was different. I could show you that movie whenever. But
yeah,
like they're going in for the moment to enjoy, the Little Mermaid movie. So I mean, it's fine. And like this, you said this is Snow White.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember much of this princess. I don't even think. This one is just, it's not one of my favorite movies. The one that I'm looking forward to the most is the Hercules one.
I got you.
So, like
with those TikTok musical numbers.
These ones can like flop and be alright, but whatever. But the one that I'm looking forward to the most is the Hercules one because I like the animated Hercules.
Yeah. I see that too. I'm hoping this is gonna be good. I'm hoping this remake's gonna be good. Like I said, a lot of people say Gal Gadot doesn't even have the acting chops like that. I
think she does.
I mean, I don't think that she's bad. I think that she can hone herself a little bit more, but I don't think she's that bad. And Rachel Zeggler, I know you don't know who she is, but she made a standout debut in the West Side Story. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That's a musical, so I would have hoped you would have seen it.
I started checking it out, and then I don't know, it wasn't for me. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a musical.
But I do like musicals.
Yeah,
maybe I have to give it another shot.
I think I've only seen snippets. I have not seen the whole movie because I don't like musicals. So I wanted to see snippets to see how like her acting was and everything. And she does a phenomenal job. So phenomenal that not only is she coming out with this Snow White, but she's also coming out in the new A24 disaster comedy called Y2K. We got a big cast. We have Jaden Martell, he's from Stranger Things. Rachel Zeggler has finally signed on. Julian Denson, Lachlan Watson, Mason Gooding, he was in Scream 6. The Kid Leroy making his actor's debut.
Acting debut.
Crazy. Alicia Silverstone and Tide Haydiger. They came out in a bunch of movies, like I said. Julian Denson, he came out in Deadpool 2 with Ryan Reynolds. We had somebody in Stranger Things. The Kid Leroy making his first debut. Mason Gooding coming hot off both Scream movies. Stacked cast. Adding Rachel Zeggler to it, I mean, she's probably not going to up your anticipation or down it because of, obviously you don't know who she is. To me, I think she's the hot ticket, or she's going to be the next hot ticket behind Jenna Ortega, as long as she can find a movie that she can really shine in like Jenna Ortega did, where, she got Wednesday and she really, what was that movie that really put her out there? X put her out there.
Yeah.
So this one might be Rachel Zeggler's, road to stardom right here. This movie might be the one that puts her on the map. This might be one that puts the Kid Leroy on the map, which is crazy because A24 is a great studio.
They cook, bro.
They make movies, bro. And so, I mean, a disaster comedy sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the stack sounds nice. So, I mean...
The stack?
This is the cast.
Oh, no, you said the stack.
The cast sounds nice. What do you call it? Yeah, A24 cooks. So, I mean, this is exciting for sure.
Yeah. What do you think about the Kid Leroy making his
acting
debut?
That's the first for me. I'm like, goddamn. Like, we've seen singers turn actors all the time. Maybe he won't be the best, but maybe he could take it on the chin and be like, well, I learned from this, and I'll be whatever. But I think he could pull it off for the movie. That it sounds like it's gonna be.
Yeah. Man, it's gonna be interesting. I'm trying to see if he has any acting creds. Oh no, they just put him down. They go Rachel Zeggler, and this is from Deadline. They go Rachel Zeggler from West Side Story, Julian Denson from Deadpool 2, Lachlan Watson from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Mason Gooding, Scream 6, rapper The Kid Leroy, Tim Heidecker, Us, Eduardo Franco, Stranger Things, Miles Robinson's Blockers. Oh, that's Cock Blockers. I knew I recognized him. He was in Cock Blockers. Alicia Silverstone, The Killing of Sacred Deer, French Hedger, Fear Street Trilogy. I remember him as well. And Daniel Zokahardri, Funny Pages. But yeah, it's funny that they put the rapper Kid Leroy. Just, that's all his credits are.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
I mean, he's made music videos where it's like disaster too.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he has like decent acting chops in those music videos. Because, I mean, he does kind of.
And he fixed his teeth.
Yeah, so. All right, a footnote, I guess.
He fixed his teeth hella. I don't know if you guys seen him when he first was out there. I'll show you the difference in his teeth, but he fixed his teeth hella.
Well, I mean, leave boy alone, but this sounds like a good movie. So I guess we have to wait and see for that one.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for the trailer for this one. This trailer sounds like it might be hilarious. But moving on, we're hearing crazy things, dude. Crazy things in the world of AI. A lot of people are saying that, that you're able to make pictures with AI now. You're able to do all this crazy shit. Now, the Writers Guild of America, for those that don't know who the Writers Guild of America is, they're basically the union for writers. So everybody in Hollywood has a union. Like, people have unions for their regular jobs, right? You have a union that fights for you, protects you, gets your pay raises, stuff like that. So the Writers Guild of America is fighting and considering to let AI write Hollywood scripts. Now, this is becoming a discourse online because a lot of people are saying, well, can these people get awards for this AI? Do you have to put the AI down as a partial writer? Do you have, will shitty directors or writers be able to claim these AI writings for themselves and just move forward? So there's a lot of questions up there that are up in the air. Me personally, it sounds like AI sounds like a good tool to help with projects, but not write a whole script. I don't think that we want to, what if it comes out robotic? Like, Padme, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, what if it comes out so unauthentic or unreal? I'm sure it's going to have to be a mix of AI with obviously human writing as well, to kind of like just, where you get, what are they called? Like, when you get a block or something and you can't think of what to write, AI is there to save your life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's kind of, it's being considered. It's kind of like a hot topic right now in Hollywood. What do you think about it?
This sounds like a fucking disaster of a decision. Like, it sounds like you're taking away the human element, if I'm being for real. Because anyone could just type in, oh, write me a love story, and the AI will do its best or whatever. It'll come out kind of sloppy because I've seen what AI can do before. Like, and it sounds bad. And a robot can't transmit human, human things like that. Human nature. Like, yeah, it'll come out stoic and stuff, but, and, you kind of need the actors for that, but the actors are going to go based off what you write. And if your writing sounds very dry and, whatever, they're just going to do their part unless they're good at improvising and stuff. But how much can you improvise of a script,
Mm.
So it sounds fucking ridiculous. I hate this idea so much.
So this is what Variety says the proposal was for the Writers Guild of America. Basically saying a human writer could use ChatGPT to write a script and would not have to share writing credit or any residuals earned from that production. Likewise, a studio could hand an AI-generated script to a human for edits and rewrites, and the human writer would retain credit for being the first writer on the project. More specifically, WGA's proposal specifies that the AI-generated text should not be considered literacy material or source material, which is an umbrella term for novels, plays, or magazines, articles that a screenplay can be based on. The proposal also suggests treating AI less as a creator and more as a tool, which would help writers prevent negotiations with software companies over who actually owns the script or project. The proposal comes as the labor union negotiates a new contract with Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. In the same way that a studio may point to a Wikipedia article or other research material and ask the writer to refer to it, they can make the writer aware of the AI-generated content. WGA wrote on Twitter, but like all research material, it has no role in guild-covered work, nor in the chain of title in the intellectual property. It is important to note that AI software does not create anything. It generates a regurgitation of what it's fed. So, this is why, like I told you guys, and I told you, Josh, that they're having a problem with it. Because now you can basically be like, say, John Wick, Chapter 4. He needs to kill this bad guy. They're going to put that into the computer, and you're going to put in, I want 132 pages. The computer is going to try to produce whatever it can, but if it comes up garbled, a human person can come around, scribble it out, write whatever they want, and claim it as their own. With nobody saying that it's copyrighted, nobody saying that anybody took it from somebody. It's not source material or anything like that, so it would be considered an original as well, which is Kind of crazy.
Sounds
That we're getting to that point in Hollywood where, writers don't have to write their own shit. I mean, they can proofread, maybe write a couple paragraphs on their own, but like it sounds like they're getting less of a load on them.
Yeah, this just sounds ridiculous to me. I don't support this decision. I think having AI involved is it's fucking crazy. For sure. Like, I don't like the idea of it. Just sounds crazy. Like, I understand. I've seen the art. I've seen everything that's going around on the internet. You can do art with AI now, but it sucks at hands. And then now it's getting really good at drawing hands. So, like, 6 fingers eventually turns into 5, and then they express the concern that now you can use AI to like get news off of like movie actors and shit like that. So it's evolving quickly, and if it's used as for the people and you use it for art or whatever, sure, power to you. But to want to use it in the capacity of entertainment purposes and movies and stuff, it sounds bad. It sounds terrible.
It's gonna be a rough patch. I think it's gonna be a rough patch. I think we're gonna be when whoever starts using it. I think it's gonna be one of those things that it's gonna be used not so heavy, and then eventually you're gonna see everybody using it, and it's gonna be a big problem within Hollywood, and then they're gonna find that balance. It's gonna be very hard and tricky to maneuver through, but hearing that we're getting to a point where robots are writing a bunch of shit and doing a bunch of shit, and a lot of people are saying like those AI pictures, what if somebody tries to fabricate something against you and it looks so real or something? Like, AI is just getting scary. And I feel like I've only heard about AI like the ending of last year. I mean, everybody knows about AI, but I feel like I was seeing it on the internet and more prominently used around maybe the end of last year, like 2022, which, like I said, is scary. Skynet, guys. Fucking Skynet. Have we not seen the Terminator franchise? Do we not know what robots could do to us?
We've seen, countless movies. But it's just fucking
AI generated scripts for the president. AI generated scripts for talks.
It puts out I mean,
what if it like says "but" a bunch of times and somebody reads it verbatim, like blah, 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 blah.
My God,
oh man, I don't know. Writers Guild of America, guys, pushing for this. So, I mean, it's being considered. Nothing has been passed through yet, so we're gonna have to wait to see if Hollywood even wants to say yes to this. Yeah, they might reject this idea altogether. Maybe there's gonna be a big fight saying they should be allowed.
Yeah, it just sounds ridiculous, and to want to even have the discourse also sounds ridiculous.
Sounds insane. But moving on, it's fine. We'll have to wait to see what happens with the Writers Guild. But Josh, I know in the last episode we had a little tangent about Star Wars and what Mando's going to be doing, but apparently it sounds like people are thinking that it might be retconning a couple things from the Rise of Skywalker. So in the Rise of Skywalker, they basically, it is just a one-line thing when they were, that famous scene, somehow he returned. Nobody can figure it out. They talk about cloning and saying that it's secrets only the Sith knew, that, Kylo Ren wound up finding out an X ago. If you guys haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker, I'm letting you guys know the very small parts, but that's basically what happened. So what happened in episode 3 of season 3 of The Mandalorian, we got a glimpse of, the guy that was basically in the first 2 Mando seasons, who is the cloning engineer within this series. Seemingly, going up in front of the Galactic Republic, talking about cloning. They're gonna in the spoilers for Mando season 3 episode 3. Sorry guys. They wound up using him in the New Republic to try to start cloning so they can, use it for good instead of using it for evil. And a lot of people are finding a lot of kind of like a hiccup, because in the Rise of Skywalker they said only Sith knew about it, but now the New Republic are getting it. Are they setting up something? Because at the end we see that, he wound up getting kidnapped by somebody that seems to be on the bad guy side, but we're not so sure as of right now. We'll have to wait to see. But do you think it's a retcon?
No. Or I don't think so. I mean, we talked about this in the previous episode. All it is just it's
laying down the foundation.
Laying down the foundation that we already know. We know cloning. We know it's involving cloning. We've seen it. We've seen it in the Bad Batch. We've seen it in Obi-Wan. We've seen it in the second season of Mandalorian. They're setting up the cloning shit heavily. With the spoilers for the episode, but with the little resurgency within the New Republic, that tells me that they're still going on with the order. You know what I mean? They call it like aftermath or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's all to bring back Palpatine, clone his fucking body. That's why the Empire wants Grogu so badly, or the Resurgency wants Grogu so badly. The little flames of the Empire still burning are fucking. They're the ones that want Grogu. They're laying down the foundation. They're not retconning anything. The idea of retconning the sequels sounds ridiculous to me.
Okay, but even with that little tidbit where people, I mean, you could argue that it's a throwaway line, but saying that the Sith only knew about it, I mean, him showing in this episode, showing him, that he's showing the New Republic that he has what it takes. The New Republic trying to rehabilitate him. Isn't that kind of like a what's it called? A plot hole?
No, because if the New Republic didn't want any part of the technology, then no, they didn't want any piece of it. They wanted nothing to do with the Empire. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when they started disregarding everything in the shipyard, you can see Imperial Star Destroyers were just laying there rotting.
It's true.
It kind of looks a callback even to Jedi Fallen Order, when you're working as Cal Kestis and you can see all the ships and stuff. It looks exactly like that, like a dead graveyard. They want nothing to do with that technology. The fact that they have Empire people working within the New Republic and basically give them desk jobs rather than the whole science shit that they used to do.
Yeah.
It shows that they want to help them, but at the same time, they're not going to give them any power to do anything that they did for the Empire, which means cloning, which means fucking literally anything else. So they're setting it up heavy that the Sith only knew about it, and it's true.
So
who was behind the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Who knew how to do the cloning? The Palpatine and shit. What do you call it? What are they doing within the Bad Batch and Obi-Wan and everything else sprinkled in between? They had Jedi frozen in or their dead bodies frozen in the shit from Jurassic Park, the little orange honeycomb shit. That's what it looked like. So they're obviously leading up to that. There's no way that they're retconning the throwaway line that everyone likes to make fun of. Yeah, somehow Palpatine returned. Well, now they're trying to explain how he returned. Poe isn't gonna know that. He's just a fighter pilot. He's not gonna know that shit. What do you call it? I'm not trying to defend the line, but he's not gonna go into ex machina about this and that, because he wouldn't know that in story.
Yeah,
it's for us, the fans, to be like, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this to lead up to Palpatine coming back.
Okay, so not a retcon, but laying down the foundation in the right direction to get us there. And do you see the vision? Do you see it slowly touching together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I can agree with you. I personally think that it is laying down the foundation. I don't think that it's a retcon just yet. I think we would need more evidence to prove that it was a retcon. If I believe in episode 3 they did reject the cloning thing, right?
Yeah.
And so it could be that they knew about it, but they weren't using it. So how would you know something if you're not using it? You know what I mean? So it might not be a retcon. It could just be the foundation being built, and we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. It sounded kind of clickbaity from Screen Rant. I don't know.
And not for nothing, but the New Republic isn't gonna want a repeat of last time. They're not gonna want to touch any cloning. You know what I mean? especially after the 20 years of the Empire, and if anyone can remember before that the war, what do you call it? Then they're not gonna want to touch any of that. They used the clones that they made to fearmonger planets into doing their bidding and shit, which you see in the Bad Batch. They use it to control and manipulate, show that they're a powerful force. Like, they use cloning negatively before using, after using them for good. So they're not going to want to touch cloning. So, of course, it's only that the Sith knew about it. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to touch that. That's what would go through my head in universe would be like exactly that. You know, I'm not going to touch anything that the Sith were doing, because not only are we trying to build faith in the galaxy again, but that cloning is bad. You've seen the clones, like there's probably none running around by the time the Mandalorian is going on, but we haven't seen that yet. But clones were exiled. They were shot at. They were being basically outdated by the time the stormtroopers set in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that anywhere near my fucking new Republic, and I'm sure the people wouldn't trust that. They would trust familiar faces, not ones that were stormtroopers, but ones that you see in the rebellion, you know, whatever else. You're not gonna want to touch something that the Sith basically used for 40 years.
I agree. I completely agree, and you're on the right path. Like I said, I'm not sure where this is leading up to. Like I said, it could go either way, right? It could go either way if they do double down and they decide to retcon it, but it sounds like it's just laying the foundation. But I agree with you. I think you have a good point, and honestly, I can't even refute it. I can't even say anything about it. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they're not retconning anything, and I hope that this foundation that's being built makes it better in the long run for the sequel trilogy, because like I said before, and I said in the last episode, that it really seemed aimless. So, you know, kind of what they did with the Clone Wars, I hope that they do that with these series, with the Bad Batch, with Mando, that, you know, maybe another series that, you know, that's going to lead maybe closer to the Rise of Skywalker. So I have to wait and see. But something that we thought we wouldn't see ever in our lives, actor Ahmed Best returns to Star Wars after 23 years. Now, spoilers for Season 3, Episode 4 of The Mandalorian. Have you watched it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The Jedi that saves Grogu was the actor that played Jar Jar Binks in the original Phantom Menace. He has not been in the Star Wars universe as himself. They wound up putting him in as a Jedi who saved Baby Yoda. Right? Isn't that just amazing?
It's fucking cool.
It's crazy. A bounce back of a lifetime. Nope. I mean, who else but him is wild. He wound up taking to social media, wound up saying, "Good to be back. There's so much to say and share. It's going to take a couple of days, but for now, I'll just say thank you to all that have held me up and made me better." He said on Instagram. That's him at the gym, looking at him with the rebellion symbol right there. Very good. I think it's great. 23 years, bro. Like 23 years, and he came back not as Jar Jar, as his own Jedi.
Finally, these people are getting recognition. You were able to live through the whole prequel hate era, so I mean, like what? I can imagine the Jar Jar hate, you know, but like,
I hated him.
Like, seeing him come back, you know, does that do anything for you? Like, now that he's finally getting like his flowers.
To be honest, yeah, I think it's good. I just, I just wish that they would have done it a little bit better. That's the only thing. I loved him coming back as the actor. It's just like I told you before. I just think the way Disney makes these shows when it comes to the lightsabers and everything, it's just so anticlimactic. It kind of sucks at the same time, because I would have wished it would have been him the way that they made, you know, the prequel trilogy lightsabers, how they were, you know what I mean? Or at least in the movies, because, you know, he was swinging the lightsaber and stuff, and it just seemed fake when he would hit them and they just kind of bounce off the chest. Because in this show, it did the same thing. It didn't cut through anything. It would bounce off the armor. You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed that when you were watching it, but it's little things like that that makes me like. I appreciate him coming back, and I think he deserves all the flowers for coming back, especially through the hate that he had endured. Like I think he went off. This was around the time where like, social media was popping off. Like a lot of people realized who was the actor behind the helmet and everything, and they literally were on his neck for like mid 2000, before 2010 and everything. So, and this was when the internet was jumping off. You know what I mean? So it's pretty. It kind of sucked to be back, to be him back then, but it's good that he's finally coming back, and a lot of people are recognizing him, like Hayden Christensen, him coming back, and everybody showing him love. That brings happiness to my heart. A lot of the prequels are coming back as beloved movies. I'm hoping that happens for the sequel trilogy when, like, you know, when it comes time to it. But it's great to see him. I just think Disney's not really. They did the Disneyfication of Star Wars.
I'm saying that word. It's not real.
It's the Disneyfication.
But yeah, I think I see what you mean. He could have been showcased better, but really good to see him back.
Yeah, I like seeing him. I like seeing the shock troopers in real life as well in that episode. That was pretty cool because you never seen the actual like an actual shock trooper that was, you know, in the Clone Wars, and it's just good to see actual. One thing that really throws me off too is hearing older Tamara Morrison voicing these clones.
The clones.
I wish they would have, like, I understand he's like the live action in the universe, but I wish they would have used D. Bradley Baker's voice for the clones. Like, at least for when you're not seeing Boba Fett. But I guess it would be hard because, you know, when you see Boba Fett, he talks different. Bradley Baker's different. I understand. But yeah, he came back. So if you guys haven't seen season 3 episode 4 of The Mandalorian yet, go watch it. I know we just gave you a big spoiler, but we don't tell you what happens, so I mean, there's still some surprises. Moving on, Apple making a play just like Amazon to spend billions in their theatrical effort. They're saying that they're going to invest about $1 billion per year to make films that are exclusively for cinemas. Now, they said they're going to be doing about 12 to 15 movies, kind of like Amazon's commitment. So they're basically following their playbook. And, you know, like I said, Amazon's been this tester. And, you know, Bezos got some money to test. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a... If he goes off the cliff with this shit, he'll just be like, it's just a Tuesday. It's good. So Apple following right behind them, they got mad money too. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like, if Amazon's taking the gamble, we need more theatrical runs in this. You know, if Emancipation would have came out in theaters, I'm sure it would have been more watched. No pun intended to Chris Rock or anything, or Will Smith, but I'm just saying because, you know, Apple made that movie. I've heard good things about Apple TV and Apple movies, but I think the only really thing that I've really heard about is that Severance. That's the only thing that I've heard about that people are like, oh, you guys, everybody really needs to watch it. But not really a lot of movies or anything like that. I don't know how many people actually have Apple TV. But Amazon doing this, I think is good because, you know, they got rights to certain films that they're going to be putting out into theaters. And I think they could make big franchises out of. But what about Apple? Do you think that they should be doing this?
No, but it looks like they're desperate. They're going to throw out movies that no one really watches, probably, into theaters and, you know, see if they can make them some change. But I don't see it working out too well, the same as Amazon does. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think the only movie I heard that did well was the one with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
The Christmas one.
But I mean, that's it. And, you know, they should have started with that one if that was the case, because Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell are big names.
Yeah, because I seen the one that the Russo's brothers did with Tom Holland, and I heard that one was bad. I was actually excited for it because I think that one was right off the heels of Endgame and Infinity War, and I was like, oh, they worked together before. It's gonna be a great movie. But everybody trashed that movie. I was like, God damn, I didn't even watch it.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's good for Apple. We'll have to wait for that, but to want to do the same play as Amazon, you're kind of like, well, I mean, I guess, but Amazon is probably gonna do it better.
Yeah, Amazon got a lot of IP, and they acquired MGM, so they have a lot of classics. They have a lot of classics, and then on top of that, you know, them renting out or renting IP from Warner Brothers, Sony, like they got options. They got options. So we'll have to wait and see. We don't know what the contracts look like with Apple, but I'm sure it's gonna cost some pricey moves. Not only with talent, but like gambling too. Gambling with this, because like I said, if Jeff Bezos loses this money, like I said, he's just gonna be like, whatever. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go cool off on Mars because fuck it. You know what I mean? But then if Apple loses this money, it could really hurt him. Yeah. It could really hurt him. It's gonna be a gamble for sure. Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see. But if you guys have Apple TV, be excited. If you guys are excited for Apple movies or whatever,
Apple products.
I was gonna say, but yeah, it is what it is. But somebody who is turning out big with the risk, with the gamble, is always Zack Snyder. SnyderCon selling tickets in minutes. What we thought was first 10 minutes. Then it dropped down to no, people sold it out in 5 minutes. No, people sold it out in 2 to 3 minutes. Somewhere in between, 2 and some change. God, and I'm fucking pissed because I was trying to get tickets, dog. I was trying to get tickets. I couldn't even get tickets, bro. I could not. I did my best. I was right there, ready to go. Now, granted, the tickets were kind of pricey. But Snyder versus SnyderCon tickets. I mean, basically for the Snyderverse. Now, for those that don't know what SnyderCon is, Zack Snyder is basically gonna be doing a screening for his 3 trilogy movies that were considered widely known as the Snyderverse, the Snyder trilogy. We got this poster right here that people are calling cryptic because of the way the hand is and the fingers and blah 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 built back together. We can do a whole deep dive on it. I mean, from what I've been hearing after we talk about this, but Man of Steel having a showing, and then Batman v Superman is going to be having a showing, and then after that on Sunday it's going to be the IMAX version of Zack Snyder's Justice League, making it to the big screen at the AMC theater on Universal Walk. Very good. Like I said, sold tickets like crazy. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, because listen here. Sold out in less than 2 minutes. I mean, less than 3 minutes. We'll just say that. Less than 3 minutes. 150 per day, except for Zack Snyder's Justice League. That one was $175. So altogether, you're probably spending about $400, almost $500 per person if you're going all 3 days. I know it's probably not the equivalent of Shazam 2 making $30 million because it's a wider range, but all those tickets selling out in less than 3 minutes and Shazam 2 flopping, that got to say something, right?
Basically, there's a connection between the whole movie that is Shazam 2 and the Snyder Cut or Snyder's Con. It's like the fans that Zachary Levi said went to go see the movie are all showing up and showing out for Zack Snyder's event. So I mean, kind of what is it, karma? You know what I mean? He talks shit. The fans are like, okay, we don't want to support you anyway. Snyder's got his own thing going on. Let's go rewatch these 3 movies. It's kind of like karma.
I'm just saying, the money that they saved on Shazam probably went to SnyderCon. I don't know. It just when I read this and I was like, man, even like AFSP tweeted and was like, what the hell? Now, SnyderCon is a fully all the proceeds are being donated to the Americans what's it called?
Suicide prevention.
Yeah, suicide prevention. So that's a lot of money. I'm telling you, it's almost $500 per for all 3 days. It's just incredible what kind of range he has, and how well the fans like him. You know what I mean? And Zachary Levi probably has a point. There is a lot of passionate Snyder fans that are gonna go at his neck for shit like this.
Yep.
But you got to understand too, these passionate fans are selling out tickets.
Basically.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, I only wanted to bring this up because, you know, we talked about Zachary Levi. We talked about, you know, if you guys haven't heard it, it's going to be in our other episode, the way we're laying him out. He blames Snyder fans. He blames Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He blames all these people. But then here comes Zack Snyder just skipping around, doing his thing, his own thing, putting out movies that, well, Zack Snyder's Justice League came out in 2021, so that one wasn't too far out. But Man of Steel that came out about 10, 11 years ago, BVS that came out about 7, 8 years ago, and people are still wanting to just go watch it in theaters.
Exactly.
That has to say a lot. That has to say a lot, and I hope. And a lot of people are saying, you know, it's been radio silent from James Gunn on Twitter because of, you know, supposedly he don't want to address the wife thing, and he don't want to address, you know, what Zachary Levi's putting out there. Some people are saying that Zack Snyder's doing all these moves in a small capacity, and, you know, having people upset because they couldn't get tickets, having people asking for another tour 3 days or whatever. You know, people are tweeting saying we're missing out, we need more time, and, you know, nobody's really lining up for Shazam or James Gunn stuff. I mean, real DC fans, but come on, guys, where are you guys at the box office? I don't know.
Fans. Quote unquote real DC fans, quote unquote, oh, it's too dark, and you know, it's this has to prove something, bro. People are dropping almost $500 to go see 3 movies that have already came out. I'm telling you,
one you could watch for free on streaming. All 3 of them you could watch for free
on streaming.
You
could watch on streaming, or you call it But bro, this has to say something to James Gunn, and he, like,
to
imagine
the heads of Warner Brothers.
Exactly. Imagine they're sitting in their offices like, damn, we fucked up. Hamada's probably at Paramount like, I fucked up. like there's no way one man is pulling in this much fans, bro. But he is, and
like I said,
James Gunn better take a note or something.
Like I said, Zack Snyder's films. Say what you want about Man of Steel not making $1 billion. It still made 800 or 600 million worldwide. BVS climbed up, made 800 million worldwide. Suicide Squad, even though it was butchered, made 800, almost 900. And then after that, what happened? Things just started dwindling down, lower and lower, till the lowest of the lows, which is Shazam 2. So, I don't know. This has to say a lot, and I want to say that this is going to be like a hopeful thing to be like, oh, you know, they're going to sell it to Universal or Netflix or whatever, and we're going to, you know, get the vision and we're going to finish it.
Yeah.
But I think this is just proving how it's competition, and they don't want competition against their own. And that says a lot. But like I said, radio silence from James Gunn.
Yep.
No, and, you know, Zack Snyder went on a live stream, I believe, a couple nights ago or last night or something, and said how him and James Gunn are buddies and whatever. But I'm like, well, I don't see James Gunn coming out saying things like that, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to.
Oh man.
Like I said, I'm hoping something good comes out of this SnyderCon. I was really hoping to get tickets so I could have been there front row and center. Sucks that I'm just not as quick. I'm not as passionate, bro. I'm not. It's crazy. But moving on, same thing though. Zack Snyder's still making moves out there, talking about, you know, Army of the Dead sequel, Planet of the Dead. You know, we really haven't heard anything since Army of the Dead, and I love that movie. That movie's great. I need to rewatch it. I hope it comes out on physical media because I need to get me a copy of it. I don't have Netflix. Oh, I borrow yours.
Yeah.
I mooch off his. But Zack Snyder basically went on an interview and said, as far as the Armyverse goes, though, it's still alive and well in mind. I know exactly what I would do. It really depends on how we try to figure out how we go forward with Rebel Moon and the Rebel Moon universe. It's not a small time commitment. Rebel Moon stuff, a sci-fi thing at this scale does require a lot of attention to make it all make sense. And that just hurts because that sounds like they are not putting as much attention to the army verse, and that just hurts. That hurts so much because I really love these movies and I wanted to see, he teased so much. Zombie robots, a UFO crashing in the beginning, you know, the whole repeat thing where, they die and just come back and die and come back in just different ways. That's why their bodies were all laying there in that one place. Like, there's so much that he needs to explain today.
I know he was teasing gods and shit, bro. Like I want to know what the fuck they gotta do with all this.
Yeah, like maybe that's, some people are like, well, that's loose ends and plot holes, but Zack Snyder doesn't move without, intent. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if he did that, there was an intention and a payoff that's gonna come soon. It doesn't seem like it's coming soon enough.
He put it on hold for Rebel Moon.
Sucks, man. Well, I don't know, because Rebel Moon, because we're also hearing too that Rebel Moon is gonna be a two-parter, right? And not only is it gonna have a regular PG-13 one, but they're gonna have R-rated versions right next to them of both parts. That they're cutting out a lot for that PG-13. American Psycho. They're cutting it out for PG-13 purposes for the people that want to have that Star Wars experience without, obviously it would be horrific. Yeah. But now they're also going to have a R-rated version for the people that want to have a horrific time watching Rebel Moon.
I'd watch both. I don't give a damn.
I'm just going straight for the rated R, bro. I don't give a damn.
Like, oh my god, man. Yeah, no. If he can't have DC, his franchise with the Army of the Dead versus still alive, still going strong. It takes time, and Rebel Moon sounds like a big production that took up most of his time, and I'm sure once he gets all that out the way, we'll get these movies back.
Yeah, we need to hurry up though. We need them today.
December needs to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, I can't wait for Rebel Moon. It sounds like hype, pure hype, nothing but hype, and yeah, Planet of the Dead needs to hurry up too. I don't know, because I'm still waiting on that. I don't watch anime, but they're making an anime like spinoff of Army of the Dead, Las Vegas, right? And so and this is supposed to be like a prequel to what happens when the zombie outbreak happens and blah 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 blah, and it's supposed to help with the lore of what's happening, and we haven't even got anything on that. And you just need Zack Snyder to produce. But I get it. He has a lot on his plate with this one. I can't be too mad, right?
No, you can't.
Fuck. I just want to be mad though. Also, on other news, John Wick Chapter 4 originally had a cut that was 4 hours long. Almost 4 hours long. So Chad Stahelski and editor Nathan Erloff told IndieWire that the first cut was 3 hours and 45 minutes long. It felt like 3 hours and 45 minutes. We were like, oh, we are so screwed. The increased runtime came from world building, though a lot of this was obviously left on the cutting room floor as the film was edited over and over again. He goes on to say that the process wasn't easy, however, that Stahelski and Orloff struggled to maintain good pacing through John Wick Chapter 4. So even if they took out 30 seconds of the movie, he said that he'd make them rewatch the whole movie again, and that he's pretty sure the editorial staff were like pissed at him. With the reviews that are coming out, IGN himself, and this is where we're reporting it on, gave it a 10 out of 10. So maybe the cutting out and the editing helped it a lot. I am hearing that some people are saying that they are feeling that 2 hour runtime, that 2 hour and 45 minute runtime. But we know what they're building off for. We're getting that ballerina spinoff with Ana de Armas. We're probably going to get a John Wick 5. We're probably I think they're also doing a spinoff with the Russians as well. Mm-hmm. So they're trying. This is the movie that they're putting all the load on to basically expand the universe. I know they added a little bit in John Wick 2, not too much, because I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting a franchise out of it. Basically. The third one, they were like, well, let's see if it wasn't a fluke, so they put a little bit of lore in there, but then they kind of let it go. Now number 4 is what's really gonna pick it up and expand. Yeah,
a lot of good work.
Yeah, so almost 4 hours because of the world building. Chopped it down to 2 hours and 45 minutes. I mean, what do you think about that?
Let movies be. Let movies be. Or at least give us the 4-hour cut in DVD or something. Don't just leave it on the floor to die. Like, let movies be. Y'all were cooking. And if y'all came up with a feast, let the fans eat. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can't show 4 hours in a movie theater. Let that be the theatrical cut if it still works and stuff. But for the people that care, like, give them the 4 hours. Let us fucking eat that shit up.
Yeah, but don't you see some movies and you're just like, man, they could have done with cutting out just a little bit. Like Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I feel like they could have cut out a few things and it was just so tiresome. I mean, yeah, maybe if you put it out on the DVD one and just make, kind of like what Zack Snyder Justice League did and just make that 4-hour cut or whatever, people will buy it. Some people will watch it. But why would you want somebody to compare your movie to that and be like, oh yeah, they good thing they did cut all that out? You know what I mean? Like, I just think it would just cause more problems.
That could be left up to the fans, but you should still do them the service and be like, well, if you like the 2.5 hours, here's the 4 hours.
Jesus, I don't know if I could see John Wick killing so many people. I don't know. Yeah, you can repeatedly
for
just
4 hours straight. Yeah.
We're getting through our rewatch of all the John Wick movies just so we can be up to date, but we will be getting tickets and we will be putting out our review for John Wick 4. So stay tuned for that, guys. And for the last topic of the day, we got a new look at Lady Gaga on the set of Joker. Very Joker-fied. You see, we'll describe her to you. She's wearing, it's on the Hollywood Reporter page if you guys want to go check it out. But she's wearing the red blazer, has the Harley Quinn signature checkered shirt, and she just looks crazy in clown makeup and green hair.
Like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
A version of Harley Quinn, anyway.
It looks like they're walking out of somewhere. They got police around them. We got people wearing Joker masks, people yelling. I mean, we got little videos. I don't know if you've seen the other videos where, Joaquin Phoenix is basically running down the street as Joker. And, there was like 2 other Jokers, him without makeup and running and stuff.
I think I've seen that.
So we're getting a lot of little views and little leaks here and there of what they look like. But, I mean, what do you think about Harley Quinn here?
She looks good. I always knew Lady Gaga was probably gonna pull it off. She does
weird enough.
She looks. Oh yeah, a lot of her older music videos were weird. So I mean, I'm sure she could pull it off. She looks like a fine Harley Quinn. Not someone who I would have expected, but maybe for this version of Joker, what they're going with, she's the perfect fit. You know what I mean?
I'm hoping she gets recognized for her roles pretty soon, and I hope maybe this one might do her some good because, like House of Gucci, she came out on House of Gucci, and I think she did a phenomenal job, and nobody recognized her for that movie.
Didn't she win an award for that one? She was in with what's his name? The dude that plays Rocket Raccoon. The dude from The Hangover.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, no, she didn't.
No,
I think she was nominated, but she didn't win.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm hoping that she gets the recognition that she deserves as an actress because she's been killing it.
With the way the first one did, I'm sure she will.
Yeah, because didn't Joaquin Phoenix win one for the Joker?
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, this could be her ticket.
Basically,
this could be her ticket. She looks good. It looks good. Was I asking for a second one? No, but I mean,
starting to look really good.
Yeah, starting to shape up. Like that's what I'm saying. So this movie it has a lot riding on it because nobody asked for it, but here it is.
Basically.
Yep. Let's fucking go. Looks very good. Very, very good. And this is the first look that we got since last time, which was on Valentine's Day back in February.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so very good. But with that being said, that's the end of our episode, guys. If there's anything on here that we should have talked about that we did not speak about, we'll let you know where to go. Let us know any movies that you want us to review. Let us know, and we will be talking about Victoria Alonso's whole fiasco with Disney in the next episode. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff so you guys don't miss it. But Josh, go ahead and let them know where they can talk to us for anything.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, FIlmBros Podcast. You can hit us up for any movies or news you want us to review or engage with us because we post a lot of fun stuff. If you want to listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at FIlmBros Podcast. If you want to support us in a big way, Zippy Stream at FIlmBros Podcast. All it takes is a name and an email. You get our full catalog. And with that email, you get updates of when new episodes drop. So why wouldn't you want to be the first to listen? And then, as always, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube at FIlmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.